Hello and welcome to Property Money Trees Maximising Property Values, the once a month show where I break down the steps of how to recognise, enhance, and then extract the values in property in order to create wealth. Would you like to find out how you can benefit from the steps of maximising property values? This is even if you don't own a property yet or have a deposit. If that's a yes, then you're in the right place to find out. My name is Patricia Faber, and although many know me for my work as a solicitor, on this show you will be getting the benefit of my 30 plus years worth of experience of maximising property values, experience which has given me a net worth in millions. So who might benefit from listening to this show? Literally anyone with an interest in creating property wealth. Welcome back. So, the Renters' Rights Act of 2025 is now with us. The bill received Royal Assent on the 27th of October 2025. Now, that doesn't mean that all of the Act is now operational. It isn't. And we are all awaiting the government's timetable as to when the various parts of the Act are going to actually become applicable and to start being enforced. But what we do know with complete certainty is that from the 27th of December 2025, the local authorities' investigative powers are going to kick in. So I'm thinking of it as effectively 2026 because I don't know that very much is going to happen between the 27th of December and the 31st of December, considering that that will be over the Christmas holidays. In any event, from the 27th of December, so that's 2025, councils will have stronger powers. Local housing authorities will be able to investigate illegal evictions, will be able to look into unsafe homes, unlicensed or overcrowded properties, and other housing law breaches. Refusing to cooperate, giving false information, or blocking investigations can have serious legal consequences. So please do, have your people to hand who can assist should the local authority come knocking. Now, they can ask for information, and ignoring the information or failing to respond to a lawful written request without a good reason can result in a penalty of up to £1,000. Now, these are just outside of the renters' rights stuff. As you're aware, there are certain things that can attract a fine of up to £7,000 and others for up to £40,000. But this at the moment is up to £1,000. Knowingly providing false information can lead to higher fines and or a criminal record. So it's very important that we're all aware of our obligations and duties under these powers. Now, refusing entry to a business premises. So a council officer, when they're authorised, can say that they want to come into a business premises, and they can apply for a court warrant to enter using reasonable force. So if they try and come and you say no, they can go and get a court warrant, and then they can use reasonable force to enter the premises. The officers can seize documents and equipment, and refusal or obstruction can lead to further penalties and or offences. So this is really, really important. And they can come with or without a warrant. Very, very important. Refusing entry to a residential property. So if a property is suspected of illegal activity, for example, it's an unlicensed HMO, or there's been illegal eviction that has taken place there, Councils can apply for a magistrate's warrant to enter without notice. Police support may be used, and obstruction may result in criminal charges. Very, very, very important that we are all aware of these new powers. Withholding or destroying evidence, so tampering with records or hiding information, can be treated as obstruction or perverting the course of justice. Oh dear. Penalties include unlimited fines. They can include banning orders, loss of licenses, and inclusion on the public rogue landlord database. Now, it is interesting, isn't it, that Rachel Reeves herself has just been found out to letting her property for over a year without a selective license, or possibly even an HMO license. I don't know which one it is that she was required to have, but whatever it was, she didn't have it. Non-compliance with client money protection. So letting agents who fail to join a client money protection scheme can face civil penalties of up to £30,000, repayment orders, and prohibition from trading. Data and follow-up of inspections. So councils can cross-check council tax, housing benefit, and tenancy deposit data to identify unlicensed or non-compliant properties. Repeated issues may lead to wider investigations involving other enforcement bodies. So this today is literally just an overview of what these new powers are, and then we can go into detail at a later date. So landlords will still have the right to see written authorisations or warrants, to receive copies of seized documents, and to appeal wrongful actions in court. I think people should really seek legal representation ASAP if they find themselves, in the crosshairs of any local authority. So that really is what as I said, an overview of what is now the local authorities and investigative powers, and we have to be very, very careful. So one of the powers is that they can require information from any person. So that could be your Rightmove, could be your Zoopla, could be your whomsoever, could be your neighbour, could be your enemy, your declared enemy. It could be from anyone. So these powers are extremely wide, and the government believes that everyone is a rogue. Every landlord is unlawful and will want to not comply with the laws. And it really does seem like karma when they themselves are now being caught by their own legislation. In fact, the Renters' Rights Act hasn't actually come into play yet, but and Rachel Reeves would have been in much more serious difficulty had it come into play, because then her tenants would have been in a position to actually apply for up to 2 years' worth of rent repayment. At the moment, they can only apply for up to 12 months. So these powers are there. They've not been designed, I don't think, to deal with ordinary human beings. They've been put together to deal with hardened criminals. And so if we get caught for making the simplest of mistakes, like Rachel Reeves is claiming to have made, there won't be any leniency, I don't think, because the laws have not been drafted to deal with ordinary people who are providing a needed service in the country, and who are ordinary human beings who can fail, who can make mistakes, who can forget things. In my opinion, which is not worth anything, because the law is the law, we all now need to comply with it. It would have been so much more useful and helpful if they had a warning system. So you do something, you get a warning. You do it again, you get a penalty. Who would actually argue against that? But as it is right now, is what we need to be facing, is what we need to be prepared for. So I hope that today's podcast is of some use. Take care, and till next month.